Howdy folks, join me in my kitchen just now. Just have an idea, a little tip that I want to share to you folkies out there. I've mentioned this before in some of my videos, but I've never actually shown you. It's dead easy, great little hack. It was shown to me by my pal Eddie Travers on how to get rid of memory off your fly irons if you've had them in your reel for a week, 2 weeks, a year, whatever, right? And even with new fly lines as well. Today I'm working with my new Taylor 7/8 reel. New 7/8 reel, and I've got this one loaded up with the Wixwood Connect Series 2. It's the new Little Dipper. I've got the first Gen 1, which took a while to get rid of all the memory a couple of years ago. That took a good few fish to get rid of that. But this is the new Little Dipper 5-foot midge tip. And I do this on all my lines. And I particularly do this the morning before I go out on a fishing session, which is normally every week. And this is a good practice to get into using, especially on stubborn lines that take a while to get rid of memory. These new Connect Series 2 lines don't really need it, but I like to do it anyway. All lines will develop memory over time depending on how long they're stored in your reel for. There's a great little thing to do, and maybe some of you already do it. I've been doing it the last 2 or 3 years since Eddie was telling me about it, and we're going to get a try. So what you need is your old or brand new fly line, which is what I've got here on a new fly reel. Do like a new fly reel. Make sure you don't hear me say that. Spending more money on fishing kit. Anyway, so what you need is kitchen sink of hot water and your line. Let's move to the chest cam. I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright, fogies, we are on the chest cam. We have the reel. I do like these reels. I got this one for a steal. This cost me 110 quid from Sportfish last year, and there was a angling company in London that was doing a clearance sale. I got this last week for 65 quid. Anyway, so you got your hot water there. All you do is you just pay all the line off the spool and stick it in the young hot water. I love this kind of new reel. Right, that's about as much as I'm going to need really. Very rarely do I ever end it down to the back end anyway. And all you do is you just let it soak. Oh, that's hot, man. Just hot tap water. Let it soak for a good 5 minutes, alright? And then we'll move on to the next step. Right, so it's been 5 minutes, so had a good soak. This is what I like to do. Don't really need to do it with this new line, but do this on all your lines if you want, guys. If you want to just make sure you got a nice memory-free line for the day and for the future of the fly line's life. Just start doing little stretches, just little sort of like 18-20 inch stretches like this. I always like to put on a towel and try and create a fairly wide loop so it doesn't all coil. And just stretch it all the way through like this. As you can see here, I mean the line doesn't really need it. I mean the hot water straight away just makes it limp. This will help, especially with your sinking lines as well. Your full sinkers, like your intermediates and your die 3s and 5s and 7s and whatnot. And it's, like I say, it's a good practice to do on any brand of fly line, because all line will build up memory over time. And I do this, it only takes 5 minutes in the morning before you go out for a fish, you know. Give it all a wee little stretch like that. And then we're almost done. Stretch here, there's the tip section there. And then I'll just put it all back in the water again for another soak for a minute. And then I'll wind it back on the reel. And then that's me good to go with a nice limp fly line. If you've never tried this before, folks, and you're whining about, oh, this line's crap and the memory's terrible, etc., etc., do this. I guarantee you, once you start doing this a couple of times, you won't need to keep doing it so much. And it will save a lot of time. And it'll make your fishing experience just that little bit extra more enjoyable. You're not faffing about with coiled lines. And as you can see, folks, we just wind it back on the reel. Nice and gentle, not applying too much tension on the lines. Again, we don't want to just add to it. I'm going to be leaving this reel until Harpsdale opens. Hopefully it's going to open in the next few weeks so I can actually get out for a cast. But I'll use this technique, or this method, should I say, this practice, shall we say, on the morning before I head out to go fishing next. there you go, folks. A nice, quick, easy sort of tip there, a wee hack if you will, just to help you get rid of any excess memory of all of your fly lines. And it's good to get into the sort of practice of doing it on the morning before you head out for a day's fishing. I must admit, I do really love these Wexford Connect Series 2 lines. They are fantastic. They're nigh on memory free anyway, but it's a good practice to get into so that on the day of your fishing, you're not going to have any coiling issues and you're going to be able to cast like a professional. My only problem, or my only gripe I would say, however, with the Wexford Connect Series 2 lines, and their lines in general, is the spooling system. When you take it out the box, you might get about 10 or 15 yards onto your reel, and then it all just bundles up into a knot. And then you have to take the actual plastic spool apart and then spend about 15 minutes threading through the line until it's all straight, and then you wind it back on again, which would sort that out. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe, as you know I always appreciate it. I'm hoping to get out harp sale soon, just waiting for Alan to tell me when he's going to open that, and then this bad boy is going to go for a swim. But until the next one, folks, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Howdy folks, quick video for yourselves. I'm in my kitchen here. Something I've mentioned on some of my which would sort out your spooling process. Otherwise, I will not buy them anymore. I'm not joking.